let me just start the ritual and welcome to the webinar once again. This is the official welcome, and the goal for today is to help you understand vMaker better, so that you can use the tool to its fullest potential and get the maximum outcome out of it as well. So I'm gonna share my screen, and Javan, please give me your regular thumbs up sign when you can see it. Awesome. So, guys, at any point of the presentation or any point of the webinar, whatever you want to call it, if you feel like you have some questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A section or in the chat section. We'll be happy to answer it at the end of the session or during session if it is possible. Javan will help you with that. And please don't forget we will also be sharing an offer code. I think Javan would surprise you with the news there. So we'll be sharing that as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Saying as well quite a lot of time, and so I'm going to stop it there and let me just start. So yeah, you can just go to vmaker.com. I think by this time you guys would have downloaded the tool, but if you want to just log in again, you can just go to vmaker.com and just click on the login button here, and you can get started right from there. Once you log in, the first step you will be landing out is the dashboard, and that's how my dashboard looks at this point of time. And here you would have a couple of options. When you press record, you would see that you would be getting, okay, I'm directly taken here, but usually you will get a couple of options. Let me see. Yeah, you have the option to download vMaker for Mac or download the Chrome extension. You have these couple of options from which you can choose one. If you are a Windows user, you can always use the Chrome plugin in order to do that, because the Windows application is still a work in progress and it will be ready soon by the end of this year, hopefully. So by that time, you would still be able to use the Windows application without paying any further due as well. So once you've crossed the first hurdle, this is how the dashboard works, and you can just get started from there. But before going into how you record the video, I'll just quickly show you around the dashboard. So firstly, you have the option to create folders. Folders are a good thing to have so that your dashboard doesn't look like what I have here. For example, if you're working on a specific project, you can just group them according to it. And based on that, you can continue to organize whatever videos you have. Now, in order to move a video to a particular folder, you can just click it and then drop it just like that. Or you also have the option, yeah, right here it says move, and you can just click move to, and then you can select a folder as well. Whichever is easier for you, you can just choose it. The next option we have here is the share option. So you can share your files as a folder or as a video itself. So if you just click on, you will find the share option here. Just click on it, and you can just enter the person to whom you need to share. Just enter their email address, and you can give the edit option or view option. If you give them the edit option, they'll have obviously option to edit. If not, they will just have the option to view. Now remember, if you share the folder as such with one of your colleague or one of your team member, or even with an external client, then they need to sign up to vMaker in order to access it. But if you just share one particular video, they don't have to sign up. They can view it as an anonymous visitor as well. So that's the only difference. This is for privacy concerns, so that your video is, the folder itself is fully protected when you share it. We just close it. So other than that, you have the edit option, which I'll take you later, and the player page as well. And the next one you would find here is my team. This is pretty interesting. And this is where you add your team members. So vMaker is built for collaborative work. So if you have more team members, you can just type in their email address and choose whether they should be added as a member or as, as an admin. Yeah, so there, okay, as an admin. So the admin will have the permission to add other user members as well, but a member will be restricted with such access. They can just get their own private workspace and they can share videos with you. That's pretty much the difference. And if you feel like you want to add more people, just click on add another invitation here, and then you can just continue to enter more email address and enter more people. And finally, just click on send invites, and they'll get the invite in their email from where they can activate the account as well. Now, if you just scroll down, you would see the list of admins and the members. Currently, we don't have any members here. We just have only admin users. We also use the tool internally for our communication as well, which is why you see it this way. And finally, there is the owner section you can see here. So the owner is somebody who creates, or under whom the purchase is made, the first email ID which you bring in, who creates the workspace, that is considered as the owner. And then subsequently, you can add a list of admin or members under the owner category. The next one is shared with me. This is straightforward. You would have used Google Drive. You would have already seen this. Any files or folders which people are sharing it with you, it is being listed here. and this is where you can access it. And you will already see that it says vMaker G2 listing call. It just means that we are listed as high performers in G2 Crowd's latest summer report. And big thanks to you guys for giving us all the support, all the feedback in the world in order to make the tool much better. So in just 6 months post our launch, we have crossed, I think we are a little close to 30,000 users right now. And we are also listed as high performer in G2 Crowd. So thanks a lot for your support. I think with more feedback coming in, we are really going to crush it. Forums like this help us to open up the communication and hear your feedback directly as well. So please do keep that coming at any point. And finally, this is the most interesting part, which is called the branding option. You just open that. Yep. So if you are in the free plan, once you open the player page, it would, this is not it. Yep. If I just open the player page, it would look with a lot of vMaker branding. You would see, vMaker branding on the top. You would see a lot of ad banners on the bottom as well. Now, when you're sharing it with a client or somebody, this is not something which would really have a professional appeal. In order to add that professional appeal, you can always use the custom branding solution, wherein you can just turn off the vMaker branding. You can add your own logo, and you can add your brand's favicon, and you can even customize the colors as well as per your own brand color. And finally, you also have the option to enable CTA. Now, if you are using this for sales purpose, or if you want the video viewer in order to take an action after they watch the video, you can just enable this CTA and just put in the CTA text and the link wherein they have to traverse through once they have clicked on that CTA, and it would take them directly. Now, what this helps is with, once they watch the video, they don't have to go back to the email or go back to another window in order to contact you. We are just eliminating the overall, travel journey. So they can just do it, everything right from there. So that is what the custom branding is. And okay, so I think we've gone through whatever features that are in the dashboard. Now let me take you to the next big thing, which is called the editor. Okay, yeah. So the editor is something which we recently improvised. So yeah, a lot of feedback to be received on this. So initially the editor had just 4 options. What you see on top here. Trim, resize, flip, and rotate. These are the 4 options which we had inside the editor. Now, what we have introduced is the option to upload external video. Now, once you have finished your recording, for example, I remember somebody telling that they help in resume writing as well. So if you're finished recording that, and let's say you want to show another video, these are the mistakes in your resume, and these are this is probably a good resume you can look in, which can be 2 different videos. So once you've completed one video, you can just upload the next video through the upload option and then include it. And you can merge it with the current video. So this would be a game changer for many people. So you can see that there are scenes which are listed. So scene 1 is always your recording, and then you can continue to add multiple scenes, and you can simply drag them. So let me just duplicate this scene, and you can see that it is already added here, scene 1, and I see scene 2 here. So if you upload something, it'll be listed there, and you can just drag and drop it to your scene. And if you don't want it, you can just click here, and then you can delete it as well. So you have the delete option here, and you can just click and delete it. Apart from that, the regular features such as adjusting the volume, for example, you can click here and adjust the volume of the video in which you have recorded. You can also do it here as well, or you can just simply mute it. You have the option to that. And you can also click here in order to enable a new scene as well. You can see that a new scene is being added here as well. Once you are done with the editing process, you can just go back and click on the export option so that the video will be rendered and you will get the final outcome. Apart from this, you also have the trim option. If you just click on it. So initially we had the trim option wherein you can only trim the start and end portion of the video. But right now you have the option to trim any part of the video. So let's say I just want to trim somewhere like this. Maybe I just want to get only this portion, or probably, I just want to keep something like that. You can still do that. You can basically trim any part of the video and then, edit out the remaining portion which you don't want as well. So that's about the editor, and please do check this out and give us a lot of feedback. I know there is still a lot of scope for improvement here. We are still working on it, and you would see continuous improvements in this. But this, what you see here from the previous version, is a big leap as of now, and a lot more to come. And finally, there is the player page. I think we just scrolled through this, but I'm just going to take you through one more time. So once you come to the player page, you can see that the first option is editing the title of your video. So if you're sharing it with someone, it is always better to, edit the title so that it looks a bit more professional. So once you have changed the title, the page title will also automatically change. If I just refresh the page, the title of the page will also automatically change. It is easier to refer as well. And followed by that, you have the timer option. Let's say you're sharing the video with a particular client, proposal, or probably a sample. You can set expiry as well. For example, I'll just click days, and I don't want you to watch the video probably after 4 days. 4 days is the time in which this video should be available. Then yes, you can do that. Click on save. You have the option to delete, duplicate, edit, which are pretty straightforward. Clicking on edit once again will take you to the editor's page. And then finally, you have the option to download the video to your local computer as well. And the most exciting thing is the share button. I don't know if we have any YouTubers here, but this would be pretty exciting for them. The first one is pretty straightforward. Just copy the link and then send it to whomever you want through any platform or messaging. The next one is the embed option. So yes, if you're creating videos for your courses, or as an educator, you want to host them on your website, you can click on the embed option, get the embed code from here. It works precisely like how YouTube embed would work. And from here, you can just embed it to your website. The next option is the YouTube option, wherein I'll just click on it. I'll add my channel. You just have to go in and log into your channel. I don't think I have any YouTube channel at this point of time, but if you have one, you can just integrate it, and then you can upload videos directly from vMaker to your YouTube channel. You don't have to go through the process of downloading, editing, and then sending it back again. So it is seamlessly integrated, so you can directly upload all your files from vMaker to YouTube. That's pretty interesting, at least for me. What is the next one? Yeah, apart from that, we have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Gmail, which are pretty direct. Now, if you have the Chrome extension installed, and if you're opening your Gmail account, you will automatically see the option to record a video whenever you try to compose a message. So the vice versa version is to record a video and then put it on your Gmail. So that this is how you do it. So you can just play around with it, in both ways if you want to record a video and then use it in your Gmail message as well. Okay, so that's pretty much with it. Now let's jump on to the main picture. Let me quickly launch the application. Can you just give me in the chat, mention how many of you are using the Chrome extension versus how many of you are using the Mac application? You can just type in the chat. If you're using the Mac application, just type in Mac. And if you're using Chrome extension, just type in Chrome. If you're using both, please type both. Okay, let's see whom is the majority. We see Chrome. Javan, any inference on Chrome versus Mac based on that I can take a call?
It's mostly Chrome. A few around two. We've had 2 users who've said they're on the Chrome as well as the Mac application.
Okay. Makes sense. I think we'll switch to the Chrome extension because we have the majority. It's pretty much similar, guys, except that the Chrome Mac version has one thing in addition, which is the scheduling feature. For example, we all know that we are attending this webinar at 11 a.m. CT today, and okay, where did it go? Yep. So if at all you have something like that, then yes, you have the option to schedule. Once you click into it, you can enter the title of your video, and you can set the date. You can also set the time at which the meeting is taking place. So once you log in and once you start the meeting, the recording starts to, the recording starts automatically. You don't want to have any external interference to it. Now, usually we start the webinar, answering one main question: is this webinar being recorded? And you wouldn't believe, we did a webinar earlier today, and we started with the exact same answer. So you don't have to ask such questions. You can always be on top of your recordings. And even if you're a student, and you have some classes, or if you're a tutor, you want your students to not miss out any classes, they can quickly use this in order to record it and then save it and refer it for later purpose as well. So this is one of the main differentiating factor. But apart from that, it is pretty similar. So let me just open the Chrome extension because we have a lot of people using Chrome today. Yep. So we have 3 options which are pretty standard. You can record the screen, you can record the webcam, or you can record the screen plus webcam option. Now I have selected the screen plus webcam option, which is why you see my face right there. And you have the option to select full screen recording, which means you want to record a document outside Chrome. Then yes, you need to select the full screen recording. If you're selecting something within Chrome, you can just choose to record current tab also. You don't want people to just see through all the tabs like how I'm doing right now. You can just choose current tab recording and ensure that only current tab is visible. The next part is the external camera and microphone. So I am using the default camera, but you can see that I'm using different microphones. So if I click into it, you would see it automatically detects the external microphone which I'm using at this point of time. And if you are using an additional microphone, you don't have to install any additional software. The tool will automatically detect it, and you can start using it right away. So that is another added advantage of having this. The next option is to select the recording quality. You can see we have up to 4K HD recording. Please ensure that you have selected the right quality before you start recording, because usually it tend to be in 480 pixel, but again, you have the option to edit that as well, but ensure that it is in the required clarity before you start recording. One thing which people miss out here is the preferences menu. Just click into it. Yep, you could see that you have a few options here as well. So first one is include tab audio. If you're playing a video during a recording and you want people to hear that, please include this. Recording countdown, if I just click, it goes 3, 2, 1, go. You don't want that. You feel like it's pretty annoying, turn it off. And highlighting mouse clicks, whenever you click somewhere, the yellow highlight pops up. Again, if you feel like it is annoying, please turn it off. And then flip camera, pretty basic. Show control menu. So this is something that appears on the left hand side, with which you can pause, play, or stop recording, or even annotate in between. So if you don't want that, you can remove that as well. And there is recording in mono. If you're a music producer, then yes, it does help. And you have noise control option as well. So if you're recording through your default microphone and you have some basic external noises like a fan running or somebody moving behind you, then yes, this would help you to suppress those noises as well. Okay, let me just go back and click start recording. I am using the screen plus webcam option right now. Choose the screen, click on share. You would also see something, that appears next to my face right there. It says demo vmaker. I'll just show you how to bring this one as well, and where you can use this. Firstly, when you select a screen plus webcam option, you have the opportunity to just move around the bubble, the camera bubble. You can just move it anywhere you want. And you can also have the option to adjust the size. Like right now it is pretty small. And if you want, you can just click this. It just turns out pretty bigger, so that the impact is also pretty high. And then you have the complete expand option, wherein if you click it, just bust it out. I'm not going to do it because it'll occupy my entire screen. And it's a little scary, at least watching here. And the next one you have is, did we just choose it? Oops. Okay, I think my computer is getting old just like me. Just give me a second, guys. Javin, can you quickly take them through? Javin, can you hear me?
Sure. Yes, I can hear you. Let's.
Can you please take them through the frames option alone? I'll stop sharing and start once again.
Yes, I can. I'm gonna just start sharing my screen. And hey, Lakshman, I just want the permission to start sharing.
I'm just doing it.
So basically, this is what happens when you have your Zoom app launched, and then you also have the screen sharing on the Zoom, and then you also launch your vMaker application. It takes up a lot of your RAM, and things start act funny. So that's the main reason. That's the reason why Lakshman is kind of having some trouble. But let me just quickly run you all through the frames feature. So if you're going to be creating videos for YouTube, you might want to make it a little more engaging, and that's where the frames feature is going to come in really handy. So when you select screen and webcam recording on your Chrome extension or your Mac application, right near the camera bubble, you will see a confetti icon right over here. So when you click on that, it's going to take you to the frame section of the webcam bubble. So under frames, you can choose to have the shape of your webcam bubble change. So you can put it in a square or a rectangle or a triangle, whatever fancies you. And also beyond that, oops, I'm not sharing my screen.
Yeah,
Thank you for pointing that out. I hadn't been doing that. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Let me just start doing that. Yes. Okay, can you see my screen right now? Can you see my screen, Lakshman?
Not yet. Let me just see if. Okay, yes, people can see it.
Okay. So yeah, so this is what the frames looks like. So if you have just launched your Chrome extension or the Mac application under screen and webcam recording, just under the webcam bubble, you will see the confetti icon. And when you click on that, you will be taken to the frames section. And under the frame section, you will be able to change the shape of your webcam bubble into a square, a rectangle, or whatever fancies you. And to just make things a little more interesting, you have Christmas themed frame or anything, a cowboy, and it's all just to make your videos a little more quirky, so you can make use of those. And also this is my personal favorite, where I can type text right below the webcam bubble, so just to highlight my name, or I can put in what the video is about, and kind of add a really interesting caption just below the webcam bubble. So that's something that I can do. And the best part is you can change the color of this section as well, change it to yellow or whatever your brand color is, anything that punches you, you can do that. Change the text to whatever you want as well. So this is something that is really interesting under frame section. And also we keep updating the library of the frames with new frames as and when we have something coming up. So this is this is a place you really have to explore if you are on the paid plan of vMaker. If you're on the light plan, you might want to upgrade to our paid plan to explore all these features. And that's where later in the workshop I'll be telling you we have some really interesting news regarding that. So yeah, so this is the frames feature, and if you haven't really checked it out yet, you might want to do it. It's really good. And yeah, so that covers up the frames feature, Lakshman.
Thanks, Javan. Thanks for covering that up. Yeah, I think with that, I have covered the list of features which we have. And FYI, we have something called, the roadmap section. You can find it in the footer of our website, vmaker.com. It comprises of the list of features in our roadmap at this point of time as well. And this is how we have moved from 0 to 20,000 plus users over 6 months. And this is how we are planning to move to the next 20,000 or probably a million users next as well. So if you have some suggestions in terms of the features, whatever you have seen, if you haven't used it, please do use it and share us your feedback, and we'll be happy to take it up and prioritize it to our current roadmap plan as well. Saying that, I think we'll jump into the questions, Yaman.
Oh, let me just tell about the deal then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the deal is the most interesting part about this workshop. So we are offering 40% off on our annual plan. So if you are on the free plan and looking to upgrade, or if you want your team members to come hop in and you start using vMaker, this is the best time to upgrade. I'm going to be sharing the link of the upgrade a coupon on the chat here. I just shared it, and you can make use of this to redeem the discount on our website pricing page. Please make sure that you have logged into vMaker when you're accessing this link. If you are logged out, you might not be able to open this link. As I said, it's exclusively only for people who have attended this particular webinar. And yeah, so you can go ahead and try that out. And yeah, Lakshman, before that, yeah, just one more thing. If you have any questions when you're upgrading, choosing the right plan for you, you can let me know. I can help you out with the right plan based on your requirements. Just drop in a message in the website live chat, or you can just respond to any of the emails. I'll be sending out an email right after this workshop to you with the link as well again to you, so you can respond to that email as well. I'll be happy to help you select the right plan for you. So yeah, Lakshman.
Thanks, Javan. And yes, people, I don't want to reiterate what Javan has told. He has put it in the best possible way. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to drop in. But ensure that you have logged into your vMaker account first, and then you click on the link so that you can use it. Please do save it. This is available only for the next 7 days. Post that you cannot access this link. So yep. Saying that, I'll just jump into the questions right away. I think we have quite a few coming in. So the first one, we requested earlier to have an option to have permanent annotations in video, as before annotations were disappearing after a few seconds. Khan, this is being worked into, and we are planning to add a timer in order to make sure the annotations can be customized. But as of now, the annotations still disappear after 5 seconds, because when we ran through, people wanted many people didn't even want the annotations in the first place, but then many people said that yes, it's better if we can customize it. So the best possible way is to give the user the freedom to customize how long, should it appear. So you would have the option to, make sure that it appears for quite a few times or as much as you wish. And secondly, we'll also have a few more inbuilt effects. Instead of a freehand draw, we are planning to add in more shapes and symbols as well, so that it's much easier when you use the annotate option.
Hey Lakshman, before we get to the next question, there was one question that Alberto put in the chat that we were having. So he's, can you split your main scene and add the upload in the middle on the editor? So it's a question that's related to the editor. We have two questions that are related to the editor. So I just thought, maybe we can take both the questions together. So the first one is, can you split the main screen and add the upload in the middle? So here's how the editor works, Alberto. You, like any other editor out there, you could be looking to split the screen from, split the scene from middle or whatever section you want to remove. But on the vMaker editor, it's kind of the opposite, but it's a very interesting way to do it. You just retain the section of the screen that you want to have in your videos. So you can have your entire video and then choose to have from 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, and then duplicate the entire video and just choose to have the rest of the video. So it's like you duplicate every scene and then just choose to have the section that you want to be included in the video. So that's how you do on the editor. So it's still being worked on, but once the editor is totally revised, I will be coming up with a detailed tutorial on how every feature works. So that will be really helpful for you. In the meantime, I think we will have a couple of more changes as well before we jump into the final version of the editor. And the other question that also came up in the Q&A section is, where can I zoom into a certain scene when I'm explaining something? So here's how you can do. You can actually create multiple scenes now that we let you add scenes, and you can just use the resize option on the editor. I can just quickly share my screen and show the
I think I'll just switch the host.
Hey Lakshman,
let me just show it. I think I just changed the host option. Just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, can you just click on the editor? I'll quickly be able to tell them what it is about.
Yep.
Yeah. So you just have another scene duplicate. So you have two scenes, right? Just select one particular scene and use the resize option to zoom into a certain section of the video.
See, for example, this is what you do. On the top, you would see this button. It is for resize. So let's say let me just select this scene, and I want a particular portion. When maybe I just want to show right from here to, I'm just dragging the slider at the bottom to here when I just do the annotation on the screen. So what I can do is I can crop it initially to that particular period. You can see that I'll just click on the trim option first, and I'll just choose the part wherein the annotation happens. I'm not going for the accurate timeline, but you will get the point. I hope you got the point. So I'll just trim it, and then I would again select the scene, and let me just choose the resize option here, and I can simply drag the particular screen in order to show the focus on the area. So once I'm done, I'll just click on apply. So you can see that automatically the particular area where I try to play it, you can see that it is being highlighted. So yeah, you can see that I just duplicated it, crop the portion wherein I need to zoom in, simply use the resize option in order to show the emphasis. So that is the workaround at this point of time to zoom in and show one particular screen without having to go back and record it again.
Yeah. So that's how you can zoom into a certain section. If you have a video, just duplicate it, trim it to that particular section, and just use these resize option to zoom into that area. So yes, we have answered two questions over here. And it was an anonymous question from an anonymous attendee about this. So we've been addressed that. And the next question is, can we use pre-recorded audio, system audio playing while we screen record so that we can use for tutorial? Khan, if you are on the, if you are using the Mac application, you can definitely do this. The only thing that you'll have to take care of is use a headphone. Just have a headphone connected, turn on the, system audio in your Mac application preferences, play the audio that you want to be recording in the background, and just start recording your screen, so your background audio will also be captured. So that is the way to do it. So yeah, you can definitely do that as well. The next question is, we have someone saying that I didn't get email for the AppSumo lifetime upgrade deal. I missed it. Will you be able to offering the same again sometime? Lakshman, that's your territory. Just answer that.
Not really. I don't want to promise anything there. So yeah, we don't have any current plans of going back to the AppSumo deal at this point of time. The best offer you can expect, at least in the next quarter, is going to be what we share today. So and that is exclusive for the webinar attendees alone. So yeah, we don't at this point of time. If you ask me, do you guys have any plans of launching a lifetime deal soon? Then the answer is going to be no. And I really feel sorry that you missed the deal as well. So yeah, and we have one more around the same on tier 3 as small links. Can we upgrade to more users? Yes, you absolutely can, but then you will have to do it in the regular pricing because the deal time is over. So you have to go through the regular pricing, and you can use the same link in order to upgrade as well. If you want to add more users to the team, you can use the link with just Javan share, and you can upgrade the number of team members at a discounted price, which is probably the best deal at this point of time.
Yes.
So, okay, do we have anything else? Okay, we have one more. Thank you for giving us option for keeping the annotations for longer duration. Can you give option to have it permanent? It's important for, I think that's, it just goes without saying. When I say that, you are getting the option that obviously is, for example, with the timer option in the, video share button, you would see that you have the option to just keep it open for 3 days or 4 days. You can expect something like that. It will be quantifiable, but then I get your point. So if you want it to remain throughout the video, it will remain throughout the video. You can just have the option there. So it just goes without saying that. And I understand it is important for tutorial videos. I buy your point there. The next one is, can we select an intro video to play at the scheduled start? It gives a very nice intro for our branded webinars. Yes, you absolutely can. So once you've completed recording, in the editor option, you have the option to upload an external video. Have this intro video uploaded as a part, and then you can just import it and add to your existing file. That is the whole point of adding this as well, because one thing, YouTubers want the intro file to play before the start of the video, and educators want to show something different. And like I said, somebody is working on resume or something else, they want to compare different videos and then walk them through as well. So for all those purposes, you can always upload external video and add it to your current vMaker recording, and you can still go ahead and use it. So it is absolutely possible.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, that it just make sure that it's on the MP4 format. Yeah, anything MP4 can be uploaded to the editor. And also the best part is you can organize all your uploaded files within the editor itself, so that when you're using the same files again and again, and if you have multiple videos uploaded, it's easy for you to find the right file that you're looking for and add it to your scenes.
I think he has revised the question stating, I mean, the intro video needs to play at scheduled without editor. I'm still not understanding. Javan, did you get a hang of it?
No, Khan, I think that's not possible. I think he wants the recording to pick up his intro video by default, and then when he records a webinar and kind of have it played by default. I think that's not possible. Yeah, and I think Khan, I think you are the webinar recording is absolutely different from the scenes, everything, because that the whole editing part comes into the editor, so we cannot kind of bring those two together. So yeah, there's one message on the chat where it's from Christian Smith. He says, hopefully I'm supposed to be on this vMaker team. We are just launching the use of the tool with our team members. Hi Christian, glad you're using it with your team members. I think that's great that you want to use it. If you have any questions, you can let me know. I think any specific questions, I didn't really get what you were saying, but if you have any specific questions, we can definitely answer.
That's great. And guys, at any point, if you have any questions or if you need an onboarding call exclusively for you in order to understand the features better, you always have the option to do it. Just messages on chat, and our support agents are more than capable of solving it on chat. But if at all a call is necessary, we don't shy away from that as well. We do take it into consideration, and then we get on a call to help you through that. And I think there is one request to show how exactly you can share the screen recording through LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I'll just do it once again. Think we missed
While
one.
you're doing it, Lakshman, I think I'm just gonna, give a voiceover to whatever you're doing. So once Lakshman, yeah, I think it's an interesting way to do it. So he can focus more on what he's doing right now. Let me just, do that. So once the video is recorded, you just have to click on the share button, and there you will be able to see the social share options. Now to YouTube, the best part is that you can select your channel if you have linked it here, and it will be directly uploaded to your YouTube channel directly. So you don't have to download the video and then process it. So you just have to add the channel here, and your video gets directly uploaded. Lakshman hasn't connected his YouTube channel because he doesn't have one right now, so he's not able to show you. But once you sign in using your Gmail account, you can directly upload it to your YouTube. Moving on, for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, you don't actually directly upload your videos because each of these platforms have a limitation on the duration of how long your videos can be. So, Twitter does not let you upload a very long video. So if your video is probably hours long, you can't do that. So the best way to do it would be to download the video and then upload it to all these social platforms. But if you choose to use the social share links, the link of your video will be directly shared to your social media platforms, from where if users click on that, they will be redirected to the player page where they can view the video. So as now Lakshman has clicked on the LinkedIn icon, and he's a very famous person on LinkedIn, so I think he'll be able to show you how it looks like. So yeah, I think Lakshman, that looks more like the mobile version of LinkedIn to me.
I'm just using a big monitor, man. Sorry for that.
It's a huge monitor. It's not just.
Yeah. So I think you just get the gist of it, but ensure that you change the title before you share it because it just looks so bad there. So yeah, just change the title before you share it to any platform.
So anyone who clicks on this will be directly taken to your player page where they can have a look at the video.
Cool. So do we have any other questions on the share option?
Okay, we have, hi Jervin. We are excited about what we've been told about your software. Our tech intern selected your software to create Camtasia-like training for our LMS. Does this excel at this use case? I think it shows to me as anonymous attendee, but the best thing I can do is let's get on a personalized call. Just drop in a message in the website live chat. I will connect with you. We can have a call, and I can properly understand what you're looking for and get the best suggest the best version for you, and I can also walk you through what are the possibilities of you to use vMaker.
I think he's just being modest. I'm just gonna go outright and say that yes, it is gonna get the job done for you over the suggested software. So yeah, it does excel in the use case as an LMS as well. Because like I said, if at all you are onboarding a new employee, I understand there has been HR documentation, there is finance documentation, and then technical onboarding as well to help them understand your product, etc. So it definitely comes into the picture with all these three use cases, and we are just adding more and more tools to make the entire process better. So that is the whole point, whatever we are trying to do. But in total, to get the job done, yes, the tool obviously does it for you. And like Jervin said, you can always get on a call to understand how exactly we can personalize it and get the best option out for you as well.
Okay, that was from Christian. So yeah, in the Q&A section, I saw it as anonymous. I couldn't really figure out. Yes, Christian, we can get on a call and I'll be able to help you out.
Awesome. So real time or on. Okay, last question. Is any of the platforms shared real time or only uploaded after it is recorded? think I'm just finding it hard to understand the questions now.
Okay, Khan. No, I think what he means is, is there any live streaming? No, you can't use it for
Okay.
live streaming.
Okay.
You can only share it on platforms once you have recorded it. You can download them and then you can, publish it on these platforms.
Okay. Okay, I'll just give another minute here if we have any other questions. If not, we'll wind up with the same. Guys, if you love the platform, please do go ahead and check us out on G2 Capterra, and please do leave your honest review there. We'd be happy to hear more from you about your feedback and how your experience has been. This would help other users to find the tool and use it to their own advantage as well. And will this video be available to watch later? Yes. We didn't start the webinar with this question, but we are ending it with this question. This video is being recorded. This webinar is being recorded, and it will be available on our YouTube channel. Please do go and check it out. You'll also receive an email from Josh himself with a link to watch the video later. So don't worry, we got you covered there. But next time you can just record the entire webinar with vMaker. If you're using the Mac, you can just schedule the recording as well. And do join us next week. If you guys are into SaaS business, we have an interesting person coming in who is a head of growth at a company, and he has grown his Facebook community from 0 to 10,000 users or 18,000 users over the last 1.5 years. And he has more than 60% active users in the community as well. So I'm just going to bring him in and make him sit between the two of us and make him share all the secrets from his playbook of how exactly he did that. So if you guys are interested in building a community of your own for your business or for your own 18,000 users, yeah, that is amazing, which is why I want to bring him and ask him all the secrets he did, in order to build a community, and especially during a remote work environment as well. So yes, if you guys are interested, you will receive an email with the details. Please do sign up, and see you guys next week. I think it'll be around 10 a.m. CT, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, close to 10 a.m. CT. You will receive the details in email, so you can just sign up for it, and make sure you come in prepared with all the questions you have in mind, so that we can get all the information we need as well. We haven't received any other questions, so yes, I'll keep my lucky charm question as the last one, and see you guys once again next week. Thanks once again. If you guys pop up with any other questions at any point of time, we are just an intercom chat away, so leave us a message and we'll be right there with you. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot for all the questions, feedback, and everything. See you guys again in the next webinar. Thanks, Josh.